Hi everyone, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. So I just finished watching Signal episode 14 and oh my god, isn't it intense? Shall we begin? So we started off where we left off last episode in the coffee shop with the victim. And what I'm really glad is the fact that we got a glimpse of what actually happened. The fact that Sunwoo was tutoring her, and then one day he wasn't there, so and this girl basically stood up to the class bully, and it got her raped. And I like how she explained to them about that she couldn't possibly that the Hyung Sunwoo couldn't possibly like killed himself, and the idea is implanted straight away in the beginning of the episode. You should have watched the episode by now, okay? You should not, because this contains spoilers. So if you haven't watched it and you don't want to have spoilers, don't go any further from here. So I like the fact that it's implanted in the idea that the Hyung might not have committed suicide from the very beginning, and I do have problems with the fact that Haeyoung. I understand that Haeyoung is pressurizing her to testify. It's just like traumatizing, her raped all over again. From the victim point of view, it's really bad. But I understand from the story plot that how it was necessary to be pushed. So I think this episode is definitely about that. We've thought I just okay, just a personal note. I don't like the fact that the rape case is being pushed aside and aside and aside. Even for this particular episode, um, we are not really focusing on the rape case. We are focusing on the fact that someone killed Hyung, and it was thought to be suicide at first, and it turned out that it's not. As I said, spoilers. So on personal note, I'm going to add that in again the commentary because it still irritates me. But let's go back into the story here. So everyone is basically going back to the Inju's case, and I like the storyline, the last story, how she is so in love with Jaehan, and it's just so adorable to look at her and to flailing like that. And I like how she's piecing everything together as well. Being from both sides of the time period. You know what I mean? Like here, especially when she's listening, when she's picking it up from the past, and she's also at the same time where the transmission is being sent and received. Like she's there at both ends. So it's as if that there is no need to explain what's happening. So this is like her in the present moment, but before that it was her in the past. But everything is happening at the same time, like the transmission. And as I said before, this episode is definitely about them getting around the suicide case of his brother, and she's figuring out that the walkie-talkie has a lot of history behind it as well. She found out here that it's relating to Jeha first love, that case where his first love got killed. And she was so out of it, like throughout, after finding out that the walkie-talkie has relations with the first love. And I like how he's being treated quite badly actually in this particular episode, especially by his boss. He's being thrown around as if that he's no longer at use, which is making him very dangerous. I feel like he's doing everything that he could to cover his ass, and the casualty is Sunwoo. Because if Sunwoo talks and everything falls apart and all the other kids are exposed, especially the most important kid, the one that got away, what else, the bribery case will be a mess, and the corruption will be exposed, and they can't have that. Oh, this is the best scene ever. this scene where 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 she basically cried and confessed after he got stabbed in an ambulance, and she just basically cried like a baby. 야, 좋아한다고요. And then he couldn't move at all because he's like basically strapped down in the ambulance after being stabbed. Oh, you remember that bit, right? That was the best bit ever. It's like he's so cute. How could she act it like that, like so perfectly? And this bit where she has to get around to basically not wake her up, but she needed to go to the bathroom. The scene took about like 5 minutes. It's just about him not waking her up, but at the same time, like he's still hurt. It's so sweet. So there's a lot of sweet moments between him and her in this episode, and exploring the love story as well. And I think that's really nice. But we are basically now come back to that spot again by the end of the episode, where he realized that the day of his stabbing is the same day of Sonwoo's death, and he has to go and save him. And saving Sunwoo might cost his life there. So that's also a big trouble. So yeah, so this episode is about that. It's just about focusing on who killed Sonwoo, and then revealing the fact that he didn't kill himself. And it's a very personal stories between Haeyoung, and also the love stories between her and her Sompe. So it's very focusing on our main leads basically, and it's a personal story. And I like how they come into this particular case almost near the end of our drama. I take full possessions of this drama. And I like how it also come together at the very end, like how we began, how he got killed, because I think that's what's happened in the first few episodes, right? Like the transmission started, and then he got killed. That was the first time we were introduced to Jaehan's character. So 2 more episodes, and I really want to see how this is going to wrap up. I think it's 16 episodes, right? It's not 20 episodes. I don't know. I won't mind if it's actually 20 episodes, because I think Signal can actually go for another 4 more episodes and still be good. It won't be draggy at all. So I know that today's review might be a bit patchy, but I think this episode is something that it's only have one theme, exploring the fact that Sunwoo suicide might be a murder. That's basically the whole theme. And you have to watch it so that you can sort of get a very deep sense of what actually happened. And I think it's about the acting as well as about the expressions of each actors expressing the characters that is so good. The storylines, there is not a lot of surprises at all, because I think we pretty much can guess. But it's still intense. Again, also I recorded the reaction videos, and I will put the link down below, and let me know. I think I'm only going to do this for this last episode and this episode, and if people watch it, then I'll do another one maybe, but I'm not sure. I'm experimenting, as I said before, but let me know. Anyway, thanks for listening to this, guys, and watching this. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.